Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I have a quick tip, and that is to check out ZoomNotes version history. Now, I initially thought that that would be a good tip for a new user. However, I personally need to also follow my advice for different apps because I never do it. I, I keep up with ZoomNotes version updates as they come in. But other apps that I might use once every 2 months, I don't go back and look at their version histories. And it's just not a bad idea. And especially if you're a little bit new to ZoomNotes, you definitely want to at least glance over all the version histories because there are things I'm sure that they're documented somewhere, but unless you're somebody that sits and reads documentation all the time, which is I am not a document reader. So there's lots of things if you're not paying attention as they come out. Now, as a new version happens, Ed will somewhere post, here's the version history, or somebody will. And so you can see it that way. But if you're new next week, then you won't have seen all those version histories. And there's a few things that come out that you may not ever know about if you don't pay attention to the version histories. I'll give you an example. The last version update that we got was more fixes and quick updates because there were things that needed to be fixed. But the previous one had a lot of new stuff going on it. And if you miss one sentence, then there's something that you can do that I don't know how you would know this if you hadn't read that sentence. And that is being able to drag and drop a mail and it create a link. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go up a level here, and over to the left I have my mail. This is my mail. See if I go to mailboxes, and this is Apple's mail. Gmail doesn't work, but the Apple mail does. If I wanted to, let's say I'm working in an office and somebody sends me an email that I want to include in my planner for today because it came in today, all I have to do is have it side by side and just drag and drop it over. Piece of cake. And when I did that, now, the reason it's gray is because I have my links highlighted, and that is a link. Let me see. Let me push that back over and look at the menu for this. No, I don't either. Shape. Oh, you know what? My default shape is black. Let me look at that. If I go to, yeah. See, the shape is the link, and it will, whenever it drops it off, it will use the defaulted shape, color, and characteristics. So this one I have as, see, there's no border on it, but if I added a border, it would add a border. Let's make a border. See how it changes. So that is a shape, but it's a link as well. See, it links back to that message. So if I tap on that, it opens it up. All right. I'm going to close this down so that you can see. Now I'll close that. And I'm going to tap on it to link to it, and see it opens it up. Very quick, very easy, awesome feature. But if you didn't see that sentence, I don't know how you would know that you now have the ability to do that. So that's the reason I recommend the version history. Now this I think is the title and the subject. I think it's the subject. But let's see, if I go to, I want to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about version history. If I go to the App Store and I go to Zoom Notes, in the App Store, and this is where I would come to download the newest feature. See version history down in the middle, click here, and you've got all these different versions. And this one right here, more, here's all the new things that happened. Right here, the third thing down, drag and drop email messages from mail app. Now that is some, I don't know if I told you in this, only mail works, Gmail doesn't. So it's a mail app to create a link back to the email message. That one sentence, if you read documentation, you know, you might see that. But otherwise, I just think it's a good idea. And it's a tip that I need to pay attention to as well, because I've used different apps and I never look at the version history. And that's just a habit that you need to get into, especially if it's like something like Zoom Notes that we get updates all the time. Well, he's cut back a lot. We were getting them once every 2 weeks. Now we're getting them about once a month. But, you know, if you can go back now and look at all of these different updates that we've had and just read what has been added. Pay especially pay attention to the new stuff. The fixed stuff, you know, that was already there, he just fixed it. But the new stuff is stuff that we now can do that we couldn't do previously. So it's a good idea to keep track of this. All right. That's it. I just wanted to point that out. Well, I guess I could show you. See, this, another thing that's new that I haven't talked about yet is search bar added to the selection function, all these different lists. And this one is obvious because you'll see it. If I click on this, say, but let's see. Okay, yeah, I had already searched. See, this is, if you collapse down all these different things, see all these different sub features under all these different tabs. You know, you could scroll on and on and on. This becomes a very long scroll list looking for something. But now, all I have to do, I'm going to close them back up because I have that option. And I don't have to look through every single one of them and remember where it was. Now all I have to do is, let's see. I'm trying to think of something I can search on. I want to ungroup something. Well, I personally know that ungroup is going to be underneath group. But if I'm a new user and I don't know that, then I could say, well, how would I ungroup? I just type in ungroup in the search and see it pops up right there. I don't have to open up all those different menus in order to find it. Awesome new feature. Now, at first I didn't think I would use it, but boy, do I now see the advantage of it, because this search only works for this list. All the other lists have their own search bar up at the top that will look within that menu structure, okay? So that's just a tip that you need to remember, that you're only searching within this menu here when you go up to the top of this menu. All right? I think that's all. Y'all have a great day here. Bye.